I'm Shanda Sumter, and this is my husband, Ash. And we want to talk to you
What's up, everybody?
We want to talk to you about really the hard conversations that you have to have in relationships. We're both entrepreneurs. We both work within Heartcore. He also has another company, Hybers. But we wanted to share and let you behind the scenes about a really hard moment that we had in our relationship that could have ended up being a huge blowout fight. Do you want me to kind of share the context of it?
You share the context.
Okay, so obviously we co-lead really well, and that's really a methodology that you like to bring forward in our relationship where we're both co-leading. But we had a moment where you really led. And it was a moment when we were...
had many moments, and one moment specifically.
right. But like we had a moment where we were looking at creating a godmother for our son, Zach. And I looked at our family, and being the businesswoman that I am, I was like, we're working so hard to put our child through Montessori school and, eat healthy and all these things. And there's nobody in our family that actually does all the protocol of life the way we do it. Like we invest a lot of our time, a lot of our energy reading, hiring coaches. Like we go all in on this. So I had to bridge the conversation with my husband because we were heading to the Maldives. And it was like, okay, we don't have a godparent for our child. What if the plane goes down? We're both on the plane, all the crazy things moms think about. And so I came to him, and he's Persian and like family to you guys.
Yeah.
Right? Like family's everything.
Yeah, family's important, and we keep it closer than many other families. It's much closer. We're in each other's business, and the way that our culture is raised, we have a certain belief systems, and one of that is we're very close, and we keep it close, and we stay close, and we stay at home longer than American families do, and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, which is awesome. I love all of that until it starts to affect something like my child's future if we were both there, or if we were both gone. And so I came to him and I said, I really would like our old nanny, to be Zach's godparent. And Ash was like really a no way. Like at first he was a no way. And he was like, you wanted your sister.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I was a no way.
Oh, you were a no way.
No, I wasn't a no way. I said, I don't get why you're going there. I'm being straight. I'm just being straight. I wasn't a no way. I'm being straight. I wasn't a no way. I said, okay, you know what? I'm willing to be open to this conversation, and I want to understand it, and I want to be connected to, what you see, and at the same time be able to share what I see.
Yeah.
And that was really my intention. I was never a hell no or no way. I was a,
but you were hurt.
Okay, I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it.
You were hurt because you really, like your vision for a family, and everybody has these visions, right? You have a vision that you're attached to, and then you partner with somebody else and the vision changes. And so his vision was someone in the family would take that role naturally. And that would have been my ultimate vision as well. But the truth is that we love our family, totally love our family, trust his sister with all of our wealth and to make good decisions. But we don't want anybody in the family raising our child because we just know that the same value systems aren't there for some of the things that are important to us. So that could have been a big blown out fight. And I remember I was starting to get heated about it. Like I was like, I'm sorry, I can't budge on this one. Like I remember saying to you, this is one I'll fight for. Like I remember I looked at it, I was like, this is one I'll fight for. Like so, like we need to figure this out because this is one that I'll fight for because I felt like I was now being the protector of our son. So you started to get there, and then you went downstairs and you came back up and you led so beautifully.
Yep.
Share that.
So for me, anytime I feel any kind of emotion that's coming up for me that I feel like I need to go into a space of either fighting, I tend to take a time out for myself. And so for me, it was just reconnecting to what's really important to me here for my son, what's important for me with my wife, what's important for me for my family, and the vision of that first. So I hone in on that vision that I'm committed to creating for my family versus a belief system that's from the past.
Okay, so how can somebody watching this actually do something with that? They're in a hard situation.
So yeah, if you find yourself in a hard situation in a relationship, and everything is a relationship, whether it's your business, whether it's your relationships, and specifically I'm talking here about as for men to lead, you got to look at, okay, if there is any kind of emotion, if there's anger, connect with the emotion. What's the emotion about? What is that emotion? And then connect with, okay, what is really my vision and what do I want to create? And when you, as men, as leaders, if you connect to creating something, you get out of the emotion. You immediately get out of the emotion. You're looking, okay, I'm committed to creating something. And if you're committed to creating a happy wife, a happy family, happy children that are raised in let's say in this case, for me, it was like connecting with my son. Okay, what is the belief system that I want my son to have? What kind of lifestyle do I want my son to have? And in a situation like this, it wasn't like I was judging my sister, or at first I felt like you were judging my family. That's the conversation. The initial feeling was, I'm going to protect my family, that my belief system that I grew up in, and that's good, and it's not bad, because I felt an attack. So I'm like, okay, wait, I know my wife doesn't attack people. So I went downstairs and I just connected to, okay, my vision is to co-create our vision for our son. So is what my wife's sharing, is there something there for me to see and be connected to? And I said, okay, yes, there's something there for me to see and be connected to. And so if I could let go of everything that's been there from the past in terms of belief systems, then what can I co-create here in this moment? And so then I came back and said, hey, you know what? I'm not a no. I'm not a hard no. I can see you're very passionate about this. I'm just not there yet.
Yeah.
If you remember, that's exactly what I said. I'm just not there yet. So what I would like to do is create an opportunity where both of us can share what we see without any attachments. Let go of how you want it to look, how I want to look, and let's see what we
You
can
even said
create.
something that really kind of melted my heart as a woman, right? So if you're a man watching this right now and you've got a woman in your life, you're trying to figure out how to communicate with her, like I would say I'm a strong woman. And
you are.
And so, but what melted my heart is, even though I was in a fight mode, like I was really clear that I wanted to like go all the way with this conversation. And that's not normally me. I'm like the type of person who I actually get behind you more and support your visions more, and I'll take the sacrifice, right? But this was one, probably the only one actually. Like even when we had a baby and we weren't married, moving to San Diego.
Yeah, there's
moving
some
to
other conversations.
San Diego.
There's some serious conversations.
And Zach's guardian were really important to me. And so you came up and you said, I'll never forget this. You said, I'm really clear that we can go through this and be extraordinary. Like, I feel like this could be part of our story, and we can go through this and be the couple that people look up to, and we can be an incredible couple walking through this, and we can walk through this powerfully, you said.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sitting there as his wife going, I mean, I got a man. Yeah, like Chloe's over there going, I'd be crying. Like, yeah, like I've got a man in my life that first of all stands up to me and honors himself, and not stands up to me to fight me, but stands up to me to say, we can do this better. Like, we can do this better. And every woman wants her man to lead. It doesn't matter what she's up to in the world. We want our man to lead. At some level, we don't want to be the dude in the relationship. Even if we find ourselves calling a lot of the shots, like we don't want to be that. And so it's moments like that that build instant trust, that we start to go, oh, that's the reason why I'm going to hold in there a little bit longer. I've seen that glimpse of that man. And when he becomes more of that man often, and he's able to lead the conversation, because at that point, like, I wasn't leading the conversation, he was. And he was leading a vision without saying even words like, this is my vision. It was like, I believe in us. I believe we can walk through this powerfully, and here's what it would look like. I'm not there with you. And he said, I don't know if I'll ever be there with you, around our nanny being his what is it called? Godmother.
Godmother.
I don't know if he said, I don't know if I'll ever be there with you. But what I am committed to is walking through this with you powerfully. Are you open to that? And I was like, hell yeah. And then it was probably, we didn't talk about for about a month and a half.
I don't even think it took us that long, honestly.
No, it was a long time, because I was sitting in the car.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We were a couple days out from going to like a week out from going to the Maldives, and I was not getting on that plane without signing a will and, figuring that out for Zach. And we were in our driveway, and I was just about to bring it up to him, and he said, I've been thinking about this, this guardian thing for Zach, and I think you're right. Our nanny, she'll make sure that he's connected with family, and he basically got there by assessing the situation. What's the best thing for our son? Which
and I had some requests with that. Remember, we actually we had some requests. I said, here's my request from Kate. I said very specifically, here's my request from Kate, and we got to include that. And we created workability with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't like, and that's the thing. I think that was the key thing. It was like honing in on a vision of what this is really about, is what created the opportunity to create the workability.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we're just letting go of, this is a battle between my wife's view and my view. And it was more about, okay, what's a united thing that we can create together? And that's when it creates workability.
Yeah. So if you're watching our IGTV or you watch us on YouTube or anything like that, we have a podcast, Yeah, She's Driven, where my husband and I go on and do series around communication, around fighting fairly, around creating work-life balance together, all that type of stuff. So you can always go find us on our podcast on Yeah, She's Driven. But also, we just want to say, hopefully this made a difference for you, so that ladies, you can communicate this way too. You could stop and say, instead of nagging and bitching, like my husband could inspire all of us to go to the next level and be the type of woman that he wants to marry, to be the type of woman that he wants to cherish, to be the type of woman that he wants to, be with for the rest of his life. So here's to you rocking it out. Talk to you soon. Bye.